have you here today, and we have a wonderful topic that we're going to be talking about, and that is personal development. And as you can see from this graphic here, I just love it. Personal development is so many things to so many different people. It's your social abilities, your talents, human capital, awareness, potential, knowledge, health, practice, skills, improvements, family. There's so many things that involve personal development, and personal development is so vital to growing your business and growing your people in your business. And it's very, very important, and it's something that we should never take for granted. Nature Sunshine does a lot of education on the product, and we definitely do a lot of training when it comes to leadership development and helping you grow your business. And we do a lot of training at conference with Bronze Academy. We're doing these calls to help managers grow themselves as well as grow their business. And one of the first steps is personal development. And we're definitely in a business of, selling an amazing product, Nature Sunshine, but we're also in the personal growth business. Because in order to develop ourselves and develop our teams, we need to have that personal development and growth because that's what's going to take us to the next level. The next slide here, I just absolutely love too, and it talks about personal development and is essential for a positive mindset, self-knowledge, self-awareness, self-motivation, raising your standards of enhancing the quality of your life. It is defined as actions that you take to improve and develop your talents, skills, and awareness, facilitate employability, enhance quality of life, and contribute to the realization of your dreams and aspirations. It also includes coaching, teaching, and giving training to others. So as you can see, personal development has so many parts of the puzzle here. As you can see in this wonderful diagram with personal development, at the top we start with self-awareness. Are we personally growing? Self-knowledge, are we growing ourselves? Identity, are we growing ourselves, again, with our identity in the business? Are we growing our talents, our potential? Personal development is human capital. It's a quality of life. And again, with Nature Sunshine, that's such a huge part of our business is quality of life. Having the freedom and flexibility to grow our business, but also have time to be with our friends and family and to take care of our own health. And personal development is about dreams, helping others achieve their dreams as well as yourself. And aspirations, what are you aspiring to? What's your mission, your goal, your vision, and are you sharing that with your team? So personal development is such a large part of this business, and it's the fun part of the business is we're helping people grow and develop and seeing that they're so much bigger than they think they are. So I love this picture, this graph here. And as we jump in here, Dale Carnegie, I'm sure many of you have heard of Dale Carnegie, and if you haven't read the book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, you're missing out. So I strongly, strongly encourage that you read that book. Again, it's How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. And this was written, oh my goodness, probably, I'm guessing at this point, but probably in the 40s, 1940s or 50s, and it has definitely stood the test of time and is one of those books that's so powerful and it's worthwhile reading over and over again. But Dale Carnegie talks about the 7 secrets of personal development. And the first one is only you can take charge of your personal development, and that is so true. No one can make you read that book or read that article or watch that video that talks about a certain topic and helps you grow. Only you can take charge of your personal development. Number 2, development is a personal process, and it's not something that's overnight. It takes time, and that's okay. And that as you grow as a leader, your people are growing alongside you. Number 3, success often occurs in places where you least expect it, and that's. Success could be anytime, anywhere. It could be that quick conversation that you have with that person that it just sticks in their head, and you just change their lives forever by just taking the time to talk with them. And success comes in weird places, and we just take it we run with it, and we're so grateful for those moments. Number 4 is focus on the little things around you, not just the bigger picture. Sometimes we can get lost in our bigger picture of like, yes, I want to be, a gold manager, or yes, I want to win the trip, and yes, I want to, do these all types of things. But we need to focus on all the little things around you that are going to help you get to that bigger picture. So that means, talking with your clients, getting feedback, writing that newsletter, making those phone calls, going and talking to those people. So it's the little things that all add up to the big things. And number 5 is improving your listening skills will make you a better communicator. This is probably, in my eyes, the most important, vital piece of information anyone could give you. But listening, there's a reason God gave us 2 ears and only 1 mouth. And that's, we need to listen more and talk less. And especially when we're working with our clients and our downline, it's very important to listen to what they're telling you. And you need to be able to ask the right questions. And that's really important as well, because we want to dig deep and we want to find out, what's holding them back, or what are they excited about, or how you can help them. So it will help you become a better communicator and also help you become a better leader. So again, improving your listening skills will make you a better communicator. Number 6, never stop learning new skills and practicing basic ones. I absolutely love this. So never stop learning new skills, so it's taking those courses, it's listening to these different webinars that we have access to. It's, for those of you that maybe aren't savvy on social media, it's learning about social media and adding that layer to your business. So never stop learning new skills. And, the best part of this, the last part here is, and practicing basic ones. So we can never forget the basics. And the basics in this business is human interaction. So we can never underestimate the power of that phone call, or the power of that one-on-one meeting, and the power of that card that you sent in the mail that said, lets you, you're thanking the customer for their, for their faith in you. Those are some powerful things, and basic ones. Basic ones are herbal hours. This business was started, so many years ago, 30, 40, 50 years ago, on, herbal hours and the power of in-home presentations and sharing the knowledge and communicating, what Nature Sunshine is all about. So we can never forget about practicing the basic ones. And number 7, success starts with failure and is a trial and error process. And there truly is no failure. You don't fail at something. As long as you learn from your failures, then it was never a failure. It was just part of the process. And I believe it was Thomas Edison that said that 10,000, he tried 10,000 times before, I can't remember the exact quote, but 10,000 times before he discovered the light bulb, and he doesn't consider them failures. He was just, it was 10,000 attempts to find the one true, piece of the puzzle. So they weren't considered failures. They were just, learning processes. So there's never a failure. So we need to remember that, and we need to remind our people of that, because again, the first time they maybe get a no from someone, say, oh, I'm not interested. Oh, I don't need that. I'm fine. For a lot of the new people that start, that instantly deflates them, and it can be a real trigger to failure in their mind, and that they're not going to be good at this business. So we need to remember that as leaders, and we need to remind our people that that success starts with failure, and it is a trial and error process. It's just part of the puzzle. That's just how it goes in life. So we need to remind ourselves of that, and we need to remind our people of that. Next, we have here, another perspective, and this is something from Stephen Covey. And if you haven't read that book by Stephen Covey, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, again, another fantastic book. But he talks about how, however, everyone has his or own life purpose, and it differs from other people. Experience is the best teacher, and every day is a life learning lesson. Development is a personal process. However, if you are planning to succeed in your career life, you should constantly learn new skills and develop your personality. On the other hand, you also need to consider what contributes to your personal growth. You should List your top priorities. What are your main goals in life? What is success for you? What are your dreams and aspirations? What makes you happy? What are the bad habits and behaviors that I need to change that will make me effective enough? So that's some of what he talks about that contribute to your personal growth. And I love how he talks about development as a personal process, and that, you have to discover your life purpose and remember that it differs from other people. Your purpose may be to change, the health of the nation. And I know Donna Roth talks about that, and I love that. That's her power and her mission, and it just sends chills down people's spines. But maybe that's not yours. Maybe it's just, you want to change your family first, and you want to impact your community, and then, your baby steps as you go on and grow your business. Maybe you just are doing it from a different perspective, and just growing your practitioner business, or whatever it is. But you have to figure out what that is. And no person's vision or mission or purpose is wrong. It's whatever drives them and fuels them. So we need to remember that, because we can't instill our beliefs on our people. Okay, so this is a great thing to talk with your people about and ask them these questions about, having them list their top priorities. What are their goals in life? What's success for them? What are their dreams and aspirations? What makes them happy? What are the bad habits and behaviors that they need to change that will make them effective? So, and that last question is very powerful, and it will help you and give you insight as you're working with your people. So that's an important one. We are audio tape. We are recording this, so you can see this later. So make sure, just in case you are trying to write this all down, this will be available for you. So as we look on, this is Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So again, a real quick synopsis of his book, and if you haven't read it, strongly recommend that you do. But the 7 habits, the number 1 is be proactive. We can't wait for a crisis. We have to be prepared. We need to be proactive. We need to get out there. We need to take action. We have to meet with our clients. We have to have a marketing plan. We have to send out emails. We send out a newsletter. We need to make phone calls. We need to have an open house herbal hour. We have to be proactive with our business and in our growth. Number 2, begin with the end in mind. So the ultimate goal, what's your ultimate goal? Well, I want to be gold manager by the end of the year. Perfect. That's awesome. So now we're going to put a plan in place. We're going to work backwards. Okay, so it's May. We've got 8 months to accomplish this. So what do we need to do on a monthly basis? How many contacts do we need to make? How many herbal hours do we have to have? How many webinars or Google Hangouts or different things like that do we need to have each month to make this happen? So we need to begin with the end in mind and then work backwards to put together a plan in place. Number 3 is put first things first. And above all else, our family comes first, and then comes, either it's faith or it's, it's your work. Everybody's different, but again, putting first things first in your life is very important to success. And number 4 is think win-win. Every situation is a win-win situation. There's no loser in any situation. Even if it's a no sale and something, didn't happen, but you learned from that situation. And, it's always good to ask someone, if you've had that conversation, they're like, you know what, I'm just really not interested. And ask them questions. Don't be afraid to ask the questions and just say, oh, okay, I could totally understand that. Can I ask you a question though? Is it something I said or didn't say? Could I do something better next time with with my clients, so I can, make sure that I'm giving them value and that I'm answering all their questions? And you really would be surprised at what people say. And they will give you the truth, or you're just going to find excuses. So don't be afraid to ask those questions. And number 5 is seek first to understand and then to be understood. And again, this goes back to listening. Again, 2 ears, 1 mouth. So seek first to understand your client, your, downline. Just seek to first understand them, and then for them to understand you. That's how you're going to build your business. And number 6 is to have synergize. So to have a synergy in your business, and to have that, the synergy within your business where everything is just, humming. You've got a plan in place. You've got your people in place. You've got strategies. You've got plans. You've got timelines and guidelines and checklists, and you've got a synergy in your business that's just thriving. So that's something that's highly effective people have. And number 7 is sharpen the saw, and that's really your personal growth. Is sharpening the saw, sharpening that pencil, really digging deep. Personal growth is a process. The journey is success is a journey, not a destination. It's the exact same thing with personal development. Here's some other thoughts on personal. And number 1, are you wearing a mask which society wants you to wear? If you're constantly running after someone, seeking for attention, or wanting others to love you, or wanting people to accept you the way you are, or unwillingly wearing a mask which the society wants you to wear, stop. You are not a commodity that needs to be marketed. You are neither the byproduct of any community. You are human, and you do not need to make yourself appreciated by others. Choose your friends wisely, not those who will look for you only when they need you. Stop wearing the mask which society is designing. Be the person that makes you happy. Do things that make your soul happy and at peace. You are simply awesome, and you, like others, have a different life purpose that contributes to your own personal evolution. Create your own purpose, and others will simply follow you. And I love that last line there, is create your own purpose, and others will simply follow you. And it's so true. The mark of a true leader is having followers that are willing to follow you and grow with you, and having a big enough vision and mission statement that you can relay to someone is so powerful that they will just want to follow you and grow with you and be a part of this transformation that you're trying to make happen in your life or in your community or in your business. So, creating your own purpose, your own passion, your own vision, your own mission, whatever you want to call it. But that's really important. So if you haven't thought about what that is, I strongly encourage you to do so. And again, encourage your people to do the same. Number 2, face your fears and challenges. Fear is nothing more than an obstacle that stands in the way of progress. In overcoming our fears, we can move forward, stronger and wiser within ourselves. And there's an acronym for fear, and it's false expectations appearing real. And we're fearful of that meeting if you're with someone that you're not going to be interested in what I have to say. They're not going to be interested in nature, sunshine, and that's a false expectation in your head, but it appears real to you. So that's a fear. But we need to burst those fear bubbles, because again, there's something that we're creating. It's not real. So again, it's nothing more than an obstacle that stands in the way of progress. In overcoming our fears, we can move forward stronger and wiser within ourselves. So don't let fear take over you or your people, and remind them of that. Plan your career goals well beforehand. Don't work only because you need a salary. I absolutely love this quote by the Dalai Lama. And he said, when asked what surprised him most about humanity, he answered, man, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money. Then he sacrifices money to recuperate his health. And then he is so anxious about the future that he does not enjoy the present. The result being that he does not live in the present or the future. He lives as if he is never going to die, and then dies having never really lived. So we need to live in the moment. We need to take care of ourselves. We need to focus on the present and being present with our family and friends and our clients. Yes, we're going to think about the future, but I love, there's a saying, live each day as if it were your last. And you will live a very fulfilled life if you live that way. Always remembering to tell people in your life every single day how much they mean to you. Showing gratitude, taking care of your life and your health. And he talks about here where man, because he sacrifices his health in order to make money. And in today's society, that is so true. And, there's never been a bigger, issue in our world than health right now. I mean, there's, the stroke and the heart disease, and there's the stress, and there's depression, and there's diabetes, and there's so many things that are just overwhelming people. And nature's sunshine is something that they need to have in their life. And that's what I love about our business. It's not a want, like I want that purse or I want that, jewelry. It's a need. They need nature's sunshine products. They need your help. They need your guidance. So, don't ever forget that. So again, plan your career goals well beforehand. Don't work only because you need a salary. This is something bigger than that. You're working for something bigger. And, that's going to drive you and your people every single day. Next up is, have a positive mindset and see failures as opportunities to grow. And again, I love this quote too. I believe anything is possible. I see opportunity when others see impossibility. I take risks. I'm focused. I hustle. I know that nothing is unrealistic. I feel overwhelmingly loved. I embrace my childlike wonder and curiosity. I take flying leaps into the unknown. I contribute to something bigger than myself. I create. I learn. I grow. I do. I believe it's never too late to start living a dream. I am an entrepreneur. And honestly, that's what you are. Everybody on this call is, you are an entrepreneur. You are an independent contractor. You run your own business. The powerful thing is you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You have an incredible product. You have an incredible company that stands behind you and supports you in any way we possibly can. So, that's very powerful, and it's very, rare in today's workplace. But we need to remind ourselves to have a positive mindset and to see failures as opportunities to grow. Problems are not problems. The problem is we look at them as a problem. It's just an opportunity. It's an opportunity to fix something. So again, failure is not a failure. We look at it as an opportunity to grow. And I'm sure you all know that, but the more that we can instill that in our people and, even in our clients, the better off that we're going to be. Number 5, time management and stress management. And again, Steve Jobs, I'm just a huge fan of him and his mission and his culture that he created at Apple. And if you haven't read his biography, it's something to read. It is incredible. But he talks about your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. So again, listening to your heart, listening to what your passion is. Some people are going to be like, oh, the vitamin thing, I don't need that. Or, oh, it's network marketing. Oh, I don't want anything to do with that. And they're going to deflate you, but don't let them. I've said it so many times before. Some will, some won't. So what? We just move on because we can't be stopped. We need to keep shouting from the rooftops what about the amazing product and the opportunity that we have. And again, some will, some won't. So what? We just keep moving forward. Again, time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. We don't need to conform. If this is what our passion is, then we're going to go after it with everything we've got. And some people are going to join our bandwagon and some aren't, and that's totally okay. And again, we need to remind our people of that because they're going to be, thrown things at them, and especially when they're new, they're going to be like, oh, I just can't do this. I just can't do this. There's just too much negativity out there, and we need to remind them that, that's just life, unfortunately, and we just need to keep going, and we need to, go after our passion and our mission. And that's why it's so important to find what your people's goals are and what their values are and what they're excited about, and to help them go after it. So again, helping them grow and personally develop. The next one here is personal development also relates to healing and how you nurture your body, mind, and spirit. And I love this picture here. Mind, I am focused and capable of greatness. Body, I am healthy and will take care of myself. Spirit, God is my ground and center. And, there's so many people that they focus on their body, but they don't focus on their mind or on their spirit and their soul, or some people are just very spiritual, but they're not taking care of their body or their mind, or some people are just taking care of their mind and intellectually, but they're not focusing on their body or their spirit and their soul and nurturing that soul. So, it all comes together, and personal development, relates to the healing and how we take care and nurture our body, mind, and spirit. And again, this just fits so nicely with Nature Sunshine and what we do here. And again, just reminding our people of this. And this is something, it's a great thing to have as a screensaver or to have on your wall, and just remind ourselves of this. And because, if we don't have our health, then we don't have anything. It doesn't matter if, we've got a brilliant mind, but if our body isn't working, it's no good for us. So we need to remind ourselves that on a daily basis. And I love this quote by one of my favorite authors is, "There is no mistakes in life, only lessons. There is no such thing as a negative experience, only opportunities to grow, learn, and advance along the road of self-mastery." So again, just really, reiterating again, there's just no mistakes. There's no failures. We can't, we just have to look at them as opportunities and say, okay, what can I learn from this? What can I learn from this so I can change for the next time? And that's what you need to work with your people on too. It's just, if they're feeling, that they've failed, or something didn't go right, or that they had a negative experience, talking to them and walking through it with them and really finding the opportunity within that problem. Because that'll really change them around and change their mindset. And if we can get them thinking that after every situation, their businesses and their lives are going to be so much more, effective and positive. So this is from Brian Tracy, another fantastic author, and he talks about there are 7 personal growth disciplines you must develop if you want to achieve all that is possible for you. You can learn these high-value disciplines through practice and repetition until they become automatic. And I'm a huge believer in repetition, and just practice, 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 and these will become automatic for you. So we're going to dive into them here. And the first one is goal setting. So every morning, take 3 to 5 minutes to write out your top goals in the present tense. Just go to the dollar store, get a spiral notebook for this purpose. So by writing out your 10 goals at the beginning of each day, you will program them deep into your subconscious mind. Goal setting will activate your mental powers. It will stimulate your mind and make you more alert. Throughout the day, you will see opportunities and possibilities to move more rapidly towards your goals. And it's so powerful to take those 5 minutes and just put things on paper, because a lot of times it's in our head. That's awesome. But you know how many things get lost in our heads? And if it's not on paper, then it's easy to be not held accountable for it. And you need to hold yourself personally accountable to achieve your goals. So getting them out of your head and putting them down on paper and looking at them and reading them over and over again is going to help you achieve your goals and get you closer to that. And it's a great practice to get your people into. Again, spending $1, on each one of your team members is worth it. If you can give them, this notebook to give them, it's, their goal setting. It's their goals, it's their vision, it's their mission. The next one is planning and organizing. So again, taking a few minutes, preferably the night before, to plan out every activity of the coming day. So always work from a list. Always think on paper. This is one of the most powerful and important disciplines of all of for high performance. When you plan out your day on paper, you can begin to visualize your high-value tasks and make sure you complete them throughout the day. So again, taking the time, whether it's if you're leaving the office, take the last 5 minutes to take everything that you need to do the next day and putting it down on paper. And you may want to put stars or asterisks beside the stuff that's the most important, and you do that first. Another trick is to do the thing that you hate the most. Do that the first thing in the morning. Get it over with, because if you don't and you let it just keep festering all day long, your day is going to be miserable because all you're going to be thinking about is like, oh my God, I have to do that thing. I don't want to do it. Oh my gosh, but I have to do it. Oh, and you're going to have this internal fight with yourself. So do the thing that you hate the most first thing in the morning and just get it over with, and then you can just breathe a sigh of relief. So that's just another tip there. But again, taking the night before to plan out every activity of the coming day. And when I mean plan out every activity of the coming day, I mean get up, having breakfast, having a shower, going to get groceries, dropping off the kids at school, going to yoga class, reading 10 pages in my book, writing in my journal, going to pick up dry cleaning, making dinner, showering, going to bed. I want you to schedule everything because what gets scheduled gets done. And you may think that seems ridiculous, but, yes, you're going to schedule your business, but that's not the only thing that happens within the 24 hours. There's a lot of other things going on. So in order to get everything done in a timely manner, we need to schedule it. So that's another, tip there for planning and organizing. And again, the more that we can get our people planning and organizing, the better and the faster their business is going to grow. Next one here is concentration on your high value activities. Your ability to work single-mindedly on your most important task will contribute as much to your success as any other discipline you can develop. Excuse me. So again, your high value activities, those are the ones that are income producing activities. So those might be making, phone calls to your to the customers that need to reorder, or sending out that newsletter, or writing that blog post, or contacting customer service and needing to talk to them about some whatever it is, maybe it's some product issues or something. But having your high value activities at the very beginning and to make sure that those are accomplished are very, very important. Some people use the 1, 2, 3 or an ABC. So, and when you're writing out your task list, writing out your to-do list, but then after you go through it, I'm like, okay, this is a 1. I have to get that done. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. This has to get done today. And then you go through that and you do that for all of your tasks, which that need to get done that day. Then the next one, there's a bunch left over. Then you put, okay, the 2s, as long as I get it done by the end of the week, I'm good. So we can put those down. And then the 3s are, as long as I get it done by the end of the month, we're good. So that can really help you maximize your to-do list, because a lot of times people, make the mistake of with their to-do list, they just spew everything that they can possibly think of. And I've seen to-do lists that are 3 pages long. And that's every single line on a piece of paper. And people just are paralyzed when they look at that. But then when we start to break it down, and we break it down into the 1, 2, 3s, and then even after that, we look at it and go, okay, well, how long realistically is that going to take? Well, that actually is only going to take 5 minutes, and that's only an email, so that'll take 2 minutes. And once we start breaking it down and seeing, okay, well, that 3 pages really, if I were to get everything done that I wanted to get done, would take me 4 days. And people start to relax. So that's just another trick of the trade, because you'll hear a lot of people like, oh, I just don't have time. And that's really a myth. We can make everything that we want happen by being organized and having a time management plan and being really strategic with our time and our planning. This is so important, and I know all of you know this. Exercise and proper nutrition. Your health is more important than anything else. By disciplining yourself to exercise regularly and to eat carefully, you will promote the highest possible levels of health and fitness throughout your life. And that's what I mean by schedule. You schedule everything. 10 minutes on the elliptical, 5 minutes, going for a walk, real quick break at lunch to get some fresh air, doing 30 push-ups, doing 50 sit-ups, getting on your bike, going for a walk with the dog, whatever it is. You need to schedule your exercise, and you need to write it down, because if you don't schedule it, it's not going to happen. So, it'd be like something else will pop up. It always does. So the more that you can work with a time management prioritizing list, calendar, the better and more efficient your business is going to be. And exercise and proper nutrition is very important. We all know that. So we need to practice what we preach. Learning and growth. Your mind is like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. Continuous learning and personal growth is the minimum requirement for success in any field. And that's not only in Nature Sunshine. That's in whether you're a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, an accountant, a mechanic, it doesn't matter. You constantly need to be learning and growing, because if you're not, then your business is not going to be growing. So just remember that. When you grow, your business grows. And I love this. My daughter came home from school. This is many, many years ago. I think she was in grade 3 or 4 at the time. And she's like, Mom, do you know that leaders are readers? And I was like, wow, that's good. I'm like, that needs to be on a bumper sticker. That needs to be on T-shirts. That's awesome. And, obviously they were promoting literacy and going to the library and reading books. And she's like, yeah, leaders are readers. And that stuck with me, and it stuck with her. And she's such an avid reader, and, and it shows. I mean, 97 average, it's crazy, but I love it. But, if you think about it, if you just read 10 pages every day of a book, that will allow you to read approximately 12 books a year. So 10 pages a day times 30 days is 300 pages. Most books are, 250 to 300, around there. So you could potentially read 12 books a year. And if you could take one golden nugget from each book to apply to your life, your health, your wellness, your fitness, your business, how much better off would you be? So, most people are like, oh, I just don't have time. Okay, honestly, 10 pages would probably take you about 10 to 12 minutes to do that. So I don't believe that anyone does not have 10 to 12 minutes. Shut off the TV, don't surf the internet, don't go on Facebook, pick up a good book. And that could be about, obviously herbs and all of, the fact sheets. I mean, that could be part of it. But 10 pages every day of a good book will help you grow your business and grow yourself. And again, challenging your people to do the same is very powerful. And getting them to, giving them a list of books that you would encourage them to read. And, could be about, health and wellness, obviously, but it can some should be about personal growth. Because there's no classes in college or university or high school or any school that teaches them about personal growth and developing your mind and keeping going after school and learning more, and that constant growth. So we need to remind them. And then again, making time for important people in your life. Relationships are everything. Be sure that in climbing the ladder of success, you do not find it leaning against the wrong building. Build time for your relationships into every day, no matter how busy you get. And I'm a firm believer of putting into when it's your daytime or when you're planning your schedule, family time goes first. So that goes in first, whether it's, you've got dinner every night, or you've got soccer, or you've got this, or a family trip, or you're going to mom's for dinner, whatever it is, those go in first, and then your business goes around that. Because at the end of the day, it's all about, your family, your friends, your support group. So we can't neglect those. And we also can't neglect our downline, because again, they're part of your family. They're part of your Nature Sunshine family. So nurturing those relationships, remembering birthdays, sending out cards, picking up that phone just to say, hi, how are you doing? I was thinking of you. Is there anything I can do to support you? Those things are powerful. So don't ever underestimate the relationships in your life, because they're so vital. And action exercise here. These 7 personal growth disciplines will ensure that you perform at the highest level and get the greatest satisfaction and results from everything you do. Study these 7 personal growth disciplines and then make a plan for how you can incorporate each of them into your daily life. So again, if you didn't have a chance to write it down, this is being recorded and you can get the PowerPoint online as well. But again, taking those 7 steps that we just talked about and putting a plan in place will really make a dramatic difference in your life, and it will make a dramatic difference in your business overall. And this isn't only about you, it's about developing people in your organization. So personal growth, personal development is your responsibility as a leader, as a sponsor. So I hope you take it seriously, and I hope you are constantly looking at ways to invest in your team with your time and your knowledge. And it gets so exciting as you develop your people and your team, and as you're helping along your journey. It's very exciting. And the final thought here for today is, and I love this quote by Jim Rohn, and I'll finish off with this, is to attract attractive people, you must be attractive. To attract powerful people, you must be powerful. To attract committed people, you must be committed. Instead of going to work on them, you go to work on yourself. If you become, you can attract. And that's so important. You will attract people like you. So remember that and think about that. So what are the people that you want to attract? Do you want to attract people that are, business minded, that are passionate about health and wellness, that, want to be a part of your mission to change the world and the health of a nation? So if you want that, if you become, you can attract. So instead of going to work on them, you need to go and work on yourself. And you need to make yourself, attractive to people in terms of being attracted to the business, being attracted to Nature Sunshine's product. And, speaking, with your passion and enthusiasm, sharing your testimonials and your personal testimonial of how it changed your life. That's so powerful, and we can't underestimate the power of testimonials. So just that's on another side note, but just remember, we have to be constantly working on ourselves. We attract people, like-minded people. And, we tell our kids all the time, who you surround yourself with, you become. So we want our kids surrounding themselves with, kids that are, good in school and are not doing drugs and are respectful of their parents and that care about their physical being and exercise and their faith and taking care of their family. We want that for our children, so why wouldn't we want that for ourselves? So again, who you hang around with is who you become. So think about that as you are developing your team, because they're going to be hanging around you, so they're going to become like you. So what are you putting out there for your people? So I hope I've given you some thoughts today. I hope I've given you some meat and potatoes to help you along your journey here. And it's so true, success is a journey. It's not a destination. It's not one day you're just going to be like, oh, I've arrived. I'm good. I'm done. I've completed everything I've ever wanted to in my life. Somehow I don't see that happening. I don't think I've ever met any one person that's done that. But it's a journey, so enjoy the journey. Enjoy it. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be failures, but they're not failures. They're opportunities. So let's please remember that. And, everything that I've shared here with you here today, I really hope that you take some time and dive into it and share some of the key points with your people, because that's what's going to get them to the next level. And we need to constantly remind ourselves of, you need to share. You need to share your knowledge, and you need to share your passion and enthusiasm for this business if you're going to help people get to the next level. So I really thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I hope, again, you received some good information. The webinar should be up by the end of the week online, and I'll post that on Facebook so everybody is aware of that. But again, thank you so much, and good luck on your journey of personal growth. Thanks, everyone.